Oh, it's me.
Yeah, you're doing
it. This time it is actually me. I'm like, why isn't she saying anything? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Glow Crazy Podcast. We are your hosts, Grace and Jamie. I'm Grace.
I'm Jamie.
Happy freaking Selfcare Sunday, everybody. We are so happy that you're tuning in today. If you're new here, welcome in. Welcome in. It's nice to have you take a seat. If you've been with us before, you know the drill. We have a little gift for you from us. Well, from Jamie, really.
I have to do this. It's the raw honey tallow. I have to give you tallow. I have to let everybody try it. I have to.
Okay.
I
All
have
right,
to.
fine. Hand it
I
over.
can't take it. Take it. I need to show you the consistency, though. It's a bomb.
Okay.
Clearly, I've been using it.
That's good.
Sorry.
Good
Let
sign.
me put my dirty fingers in the camera for a quick sec.
Even better. Love.
My backwash on a product.
Yes, a little extra spiciness.
Bomb. Yes. Look at that. Oh, I went on my computer. All right, hold on. I put it back. It's only on my hand. Look at that.
Love.
Niceness.
And now is that like nice and silky? Is that like the feel as you rub
It's
it? Just
nice.
like any balm?
It's nice and it feels like my hand is now soft.
Okay.
Not silky. It feels thick. Not like any other balm. It feels like balm, but like marshmallow.
Ooh, okay. That sounds fun.
Yeah. But here, everybody, try it and let me know what you think.
Okay. Guys, I am dying to know what you guys think. I know that you are all very curious about the beef tallow hype, so please let us know what you think of it, okay?
I need to get that on the back of your hand. I need to. You have to try it.
Yeah, I am curious. I am curious about how it feels and how it does. But again, loving that you're loving it. Glow Crazy listeners, I hope that you love your beef tallow. Enjoy. And for all you newcomers that we just welcomed in, keep that in mind. Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Know that we give you a gift every week if you're subscribed, okay? Now, you can watch the Glow Crazy video version each week on YouTube or Spotify. You could check out the audio version on Apple. And don't forget to grab your Glow Crazy merch if you haven't already. We may be announcing a drop very, very soon. Oh my goodness, summer's coming, okay? You can't... So, crew necks might be a little bit too warm, all right? So just keep your eyes on us, okay? Now, our merch is linked in the description. Go ahead, get those crew necks while you can, okay? Almost out, you guys. And we'll be able to glow extra freaking crazy together, okay? Boom.
Ooh, killed that.
That was a good one.
We're excited for this episode, you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a good episode. We have a lot of fun stories to tell. This week we're going to be talking all about the warning signs to look out for when you are on the job hunt. You know, we're going to be talking about our experiences as estheticians, waxers in the beauty industry. Okay, we've had a lot of red flags that we've run into. So we're going to be sharing our own insights along with some real experiences from our followers about their workplace red flags. We got a lot of really good responses on Instagram. Speaking of, follow us on Instagram at GlowCrazyPod so that you can participate in these sorts of things, okay?
Yes.
But I'm hoping that this episode can help you avoid feeling trapped in a bad environment. That's the last thing we want for you, okay?
I feel like we've both had our fair share of bad bosses, as I'm sure everybody has. Luckily, right now, Grace and I both landed on fantastic work environments. So we figured, why not reminisce on the past and bring up all the bad experiences that we've had?
Yes, we're very grateful for where we are now, but now it's one of those times we can say, "Oh my gosh," we can look back and laugh finally.
Yes. So, our question of the week, do you have any employer horror stories? Oh my god.
Tell us about your worst boss, please.
So, I feel like we shouldn't say where. It's so funny because we have both the same where but different wheres.
Yeah, different locations, same where.
Same where. Yeah. one of my old bosses. Well, I was relatively new to a job. I was about 6 months into the job, but my 6 months was February, so whatever 6 months before that was, or like seven or something like that, I was hired. And that boss was looking at my sales report for January only, the slowest month of the year where we got no traction, no anything. Nobody was coming in, nobody was buying products, nobody did anything. It was January. You
Yeah, right
don't
after
do
the
anything.
holidays.
Right after the holidays, you don't do anything in January. So we're having our sales report, and he
Mm,
as a man. Okay, first of all, man, no. One
please.
who is almost triple my age is looking at my sales report and then looking back at me and saying that I fucking suck at my job. Just looks me dead in the eye of like a 19-year-old girl telling me I fucking suck at my job because I didn't sell enough in the slowest month of the year.
Dude.
Okay, my fucking bad. Let me just whip out everyone's cards and buy it for them myself. Like, my
Yeah,
bad.
please.
My response was my it's my job to teach people how to take care of their skin, and it's not my fault if your products don't take care of my client's skin. And he got really mad at that. So,
Well,
whoops.
and how's he doing now?
Well, he doesn't own that anymore. So, it's not my problem.
Clearly, the beauty industry wasn't his calling.
Clearly,
He,
it's
and
not made for a man.
yeah, he was no cosmetologist or esthetician, by the way, you guys. We're not just
Which we
like,
got
oh man,
we got
which
some
you know,
bones to pick
yeah,
about people like
please,
that.
please. Yeah, we will be going into that. Okay.
What about you?
I
Horror
believe I
story?
might have touched on this story in the past before, but just as a recap, I left my wear down around these parts down in the south because the owner of this place that I worked at was super sketchy. You couldn't trust her. And there was a salon license. You know, every salon that runs needs a license. Okay. Now, the owner also was not a professional in the beauty industry. She saw this business as a cash cow for her. She could just sit back and watch it happen. And so that means that for the salon license, she needed a licensed professional to have their name on it. Okay. I heard whispers of state board sniffing around, some personal stuff going on with her that was a little bit sketchy. So lead wax specialist, by the way, at the time, did not want to put my name on the salon license. So when I refused to do that, I got demoted. And so then I left. I said,
Rightfully
good
so.
luck. Good luck finding somebody to do that for you.
Yep.
And funny that both of those owners now no longer own their
Own
spaces.
own the wear.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, because clearly your boss tactics are insanely incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's crazy.
ridiculous. I got some responses on the Instagram about this woman specifically. So
No
it's gonna be fun.
way.
It's gonna be fun. What somebody just replied, she goes, "Need I unleash my chapter of I survived her name here story." The
Oh my
girl, you could write
God.
a book.
I remember when you moved down there, and then that is like all we talked about for a really good amount of time because there was just so much to talk about with this one singular individual.
She was terrible. We'll talk about some of the red flags that I ignored going into it.
Yes.
Right off of that story,
hmm
if your employer is sketchy with licensing, you hear whispers of state board, whatever, sniffing around, always having problems with state board coming down, fines, things like that. Get out. So, like I said, it's not necessary to be a cosmetologist or esthetician in order to run a salon, spa, whatever, but I feel as though if you're a professional in the industry, you've worked your way up, you know how important protocols are, the value of client safety and the client experience in general. And there's just a different vibe if your employer has been out there doing the work themselves rather than seeing their business as like I said, a cash cow. So
Mm-hmm.
look out for
Yeah.
that.
An employer like that will never understand they would just never truly understand that end, your side as an employee.
Yeah. They,
Yeah.
they just simply won't. You have to be a specific kind of person to be good at that kind of job.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. I've never really faced any sketchy experiences personally. But yeah, if it doesn't feel right, if in your gut you're like, okay, no, this like feels really wrong, and this is not what my friends are doing, this is not what I did at my old job, this is not what I think it's supposed to be, get out. You're fine.
yeah.
There are places that are not sketchy.
Exactly. Like, so, and it's funny because I mentioned the proper licensing and the state board regulations, but one red flag that I sort of ignored was, and this was kind of the situation. I would say it is the situation at our old wear. Um, like for example, pots weren't being cleaned
Mm.
very
Mm-hmm.
often. What, maybe once a year?
Yeah, I thought that was okay. So cleanliness. So cleanliness is so important in our industry, especially because genitalia is flying around everywhere. And that is just cross contamination. That is just infection city. That is just like
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And if you are cleaning your wax pots barely once a year for spring cleaning, that is disgusting, actually, in theory.
With the volume that these sorts of places take, the fact
Yeah.
that it's only one spring cleaning, if the manager at that time is feeling like it,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as bad at our wear. I don't know why we keep calling it a wear, but I kind of like that.
No, it's aware. It's
But my wear down here
aware.
sounds a
No
little dirty.
way.
No, it was like the pots were like orange, like it was disgusting.
Oh, that's so
I
gross.
once, because at first, if you hadn't heard my story before and you're tuning in, when I first moved down south, I had a lot of issues transferring my aesthetics license down to the state that I was in. And so I worked as a receptionist at a place. And I had a person, and this was 2022, so a lot of people are still a little sketched out, quarantine is sort of in and out still. And I had somebody once come in for their wax, walked into the room with this wax specialist, and then walk out and be like, I'm so sorry. Like, charge me if you have to. I just really, like, I feel like I'm going to freak out. That room was so disgusting. Yes,
Oh.
that's on the waxer, but it also brings me to a little point of like, sanitation and cleaning your room isn't a priority, but that volume of constant clients coming in is more of a priority. You have 15 minutes for every single Brazilian, you're booked back to back. How are you going to scrape the wax off of your pot if you're literally going to get in trouble for not taking your clients on time? I love a speed waxer. I
Mm-hmm.
love when, it's encouraged, but there's a very, honestly, a thick line. You should be making the time to clean your room.
That you should be making at least a few seconds in between your one client and your next client, to just
Mm-hmm.
scrub a little bit, clean a little bit. Yeah, we've all been in that situation before. And like, yeah, sure, our room gets a little messy, but there's
Right.
always, always a few seconds that you could put aside just to take the wax off your pot, pick up the stick on the ground that was just on someone's vagina, like take it off.
That's
Clean.
exactly it. Like,
Yeah.
if it's built up like an inch thick, I mean, that's an exaggeration, of like wax on the floor and there's like just strings everywhere. We need to be allotting time for
Mhm.
these situations.
This also goes into reputation, which is something that my current boss told me. She was like, our reputation is what brought us here in this spot for 11 years. Do does the place have a good rep? Do the clients like it? Is it notably clean? Do you walk inside and smell fresh air, or do you smell like a hot steam, like something gross?
Yeah.
How like what are the reviews good? Have they been there a long time? Do other people in the town know about it? Do other people at all know about it? And one of my things is, has that specific location always been there, or has it been like turned over into this place
Mm.
and then it was this place and then it was this place? Because if it's okay, tallow just flung off my nail. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that, but that's so funny.
You'll see it in post. That kind of was hilarious. Um, back on my computer. But
It's
if
like magnetic.
I know. But yeah, if a building has been turned over so many times, why?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that? Or if a business is shutting down and a new place is going in, why is that business shutting down? Why?
Yeah. And that's, of course, a lot of people say talk to, and I think I even wrote this somewhere in our notes, but like talk to your potential coworkers. That's a little bit
Mhm.
hard. Like, what are you going to do your interview and then go and walk into each room and be like, hi,
Mhm.
what's this place like? I
Hey,
get
what's your
it.
deal? Yeah.
But when you're first starting out, you better talk to them. If they all hate their lives, okay, it's natural to.
It's different.
I
It's
I love my
different.
job. Of
Yeah.
course, I love what I do. But sometimes, you just aren't feeling it. You have an off day or something. But if
Work.
these people are miserable and they don't respect their boss, get out of there. If it's one or two people, maybe they're just lazy, whatever.
Yeah.
But if everybody hates their lives, this place that I worked at, everybody was like on the brink of insanity. And I was like, oh, maybe that's just around here.
No, that's just the wear. It's like a requirement. If you're going to be hired for the wear, you just have to hate your life. It's just part of the interview process.
Yeah, you have to check the
Yeah.
box.
Well, the
Yeah.
box.
That does kind of lead right into the toxic culture. If your work environment is toxic, it will break your experience in the industry and your mental well being. Okay. The workplace culture is so important. And like I said, with this space, I ended up just kind of closing my door and like keeping to myself. That's not really ideal. You want to make sure it's a good vibe. Nothing's toxic. People aren't being literally insane in the workplace. Okay.
Yeah, if I'm in between clients, I like to sit in the room where my coworkers are in because I like to talk to them. If you don't have
Yeah.
that relationship with your other coworkers and everyone's just mean and toxic, that's so sad. It's so
So sad.
upsetting.
Like you're all bitter and miserable. That
Yeah.
sucks. I need out.
I was so happy when multiple people stood up to that story and said they hate when work environments say that this is like one big family. The amount of times and the amount of jobs that I've gotten that I'm not even there anymore because like fuck, I'll leave my family behind. What the what, you
Yeah,
know?
seriously. Yeah, most of the times they say they're like family, just run. I love that response.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
Just
Exactly. Just
run.
run. Just run. You right. You are right.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
out of there. There's
Yeah.
a fine line between being like family and just having respect for one another and lifting each other up and straight up taking advantage
Mhm.
of their employees. Like if your boss is like, we're like family, and then it's like,
No,
you
we're not.
have to cover this shift, or like they
Yeah.
give you guilt for taking time off. That's mm-mm.
I've had my old corporate job. My CEO used to say, "Oh, this is like, out of all the locations I have, this one is like a family. I built this. We're all together. We're all a family." Okay, no, that's because you just feel the most comfortable yelling at us and telling us what we did wrong, and then you're able to walk away, and it's like, well, no, that's not. No, you're not only causing the problem, but if you're going to identify the problem, you're going to blame it on one specific person instead of actually bonding together like a family and facing the problem instead of Like, no, we're not fucking family. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Like, no,
No.
it's not. It's not like
Yeah,
that.
and like for example, Mary, my girl, we've had her on the pod before. She owns a boutique that I wax out of, and I do spray tanning for her. If you are new, and one thing that she seems to really practice is if a mistake is made, she's not going to like, you don't have to walk up to her and be like, um, I made a like all scared, because she will backtrack, notice the problem, come up with a solution, and just make sure it doesn't happen again in an
Hmm.
encouraging fashion rather than like beating you down. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I usually don't work Tuesdays, but I covered 2 tans and I forgot that on Tuesdays are $35 Tuesdays. I charged these 2 people full price. Mary was like, okay, hey. The second person was like, yeah, I'm so glad. I can't wait to come back another Tuesday. And I was like, oh, I was like, I just charged you full price. I'm so sorry. And she was totally chill. She was like, hey, just put it towards my next hand. No stress, whatever.
Yeah.
But Mary was like, all right, just reach out to them on the app, see
Yeah.
whether they want to refund or if they want to just put it towards their next hand. And then we're good. Just put a reminder in your phone on Tuesdays. I'm like, you're so right.
Hmm.
Thank you.
I love when that type of solution happens where it's
Yeah.
just easy. There's not too much stress. Like one person can freak out, but then, one's grounded and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's all good.
We're not exploding in anger and
No, we're not.
making our employees, our team, feel stupid when they are
Mm,
professionals.
our family. Mm,
Oh, our family, yeah. Mm-hmm.
mm.
God, assholes. I can't.
Not person out family.
Yeah. And another thing about the whole family thing, if you're okay, it's one thing for employees to kind of like chit chat about their lives, and sometimes there's a TMI or something, whatever. Sometimes there's a line there as well. But if your employer is talking to you about their personal details, whether it's trauma dumping, their sex lives, like run, run away. That is not normal.
It
I
depends.
don't.
It depends how close you are.
It,
At
it
at
depends
every
about the
other
rest of
job
the
that I've
culture.
it does depend on the rest of the culture. Yeah, it totally does. Because if the rest of the culture is not of that vibe, then it's out of place and it's weird and it's invasive and it's intruding and it's like something you don't want to hear. But if you're actually like a little family and you guys actually all like each other, that was totally different.
Yeah, I'll say so. Mary and I, we're like buddies. We
Yeah,
really
right,
are.
right.
Like
Mm.
I know about things, she knows about things. But my last wear, I hope you guys are picking up on what like we're
I
talking about here.
really we have discussed the whole name and like the whole in detail on other episodes before. So if you
Yeah.
guys don't know where the where is, sorry, you have to go figure it out. You have to go watch
Yeah.
a few other ones and figure
Yeah.
it
One,
out.
use your context clues. If you're still not getting it, go tune into something
You
else
go tune
because
into
it
something
is
else.
there.
It's there. We
Um,
say it.
but if my boss, my old boss from our wear down here, um, she would talk about like legal things that were on in her life and stressful things that were going on in her marriage, almost as like guilt tripping us to not get mad at her when she would mess up.
See, that's manipulative. That's not.
Yeah.
That's where you don't do that. Yeah.
Very uncomfortable. I don't want to hear about the details of your divorce.
No, I don't want to hear that CPS was called on you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that's it. Just that it.
If you're watching, eye contact.
She's not
Anyways,
gonna watch. No way.
no, she has no idea what's going on.
Imagine she tunes in for the first time ever. She's like, sounds a little familiar. Like, if the shoe fits.
I'm talking about Ruby Tuesdays. Actually, I feel like I shouldn't even say that. What if we get sued by Ruby Tuesdays? Because,
Right?
we have such a big platform that Ruby Tuesdays is going to sue Glow Crazy.
You never know. You never
One
know.
day.
CEO of Ruby Tuesdays could just be tuning in.
CEO of Ruby Tuesdays, I'm kidding.
Check our resumes. We've never worked with you.
Never,
I
I
promise.
promise.
So,
Okay.
not only is being a family a problem, one of one of the red flags. One of my friends slid up and said, coworkers bitching about other people using their earned PTO, which yes, I agree. I agree. If one person's PTO is not affecting anyone directly in a bad way and it just like is not causing any issues, then that's not any of your business to like be mad at someone else for using their own PTO. First of all, they earned it. Second of all, don't you also have PTO? Third of all, can't you also do something to earn PTO if you don't have PTO? And fourth of all, that's not your business. Why are you getting mad at someone else for using their own
Yeah,
PTO?
get to the root of that.
Get to
Figure
the
that
root of
out for
your,
yourself.
yeah, your own insecurities and problems. But yeah.
Yeah, do your job, work hard, get your own PTO, and shut up.
I think that also, taking time off is really um, hard because if you're higher up, I just feel like you're able to take off during blackout periods when you're not supposed to be taking
Mm,
off. And if you're higher up doing that, then you should kind of also allow your other employees to do that. So you can't really just get mad that
yeah,
they're doing the same thing as you if you're not making it a fair environment. If you're making it a fair environment, then no one's allowed to take off in the blackout period if you want to make it fair. But that's my only, I see that a lot. And I feel like I've been that a lot because I've never been, I'm not the higher up, but like if I want to take off or something and it just
yeah,
like is cutting a time where you're not supposed to be off, but I see someone else off, I'm like, well then, why'd you say yes?
yeah. What's the policy here for
What's the
real?
policy? What is the actual policy?
Yeah. As an employer, you need to be setting the standard for your team, or else they won't respect you. Get it
Yeah,
together.
can't be a hypocrite if you're a boss. You just
Yeah.
can't. It's not nice at
Figure
all.
out figure out what you want the rules to be, and if you don't even want to follow the rules, maybe rethink that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
uh I got something in terms of, you know what, this is not that. Hey, let's look at, depending on what state you're on, make sure that your workplace orders maternity leave if you are planning on, you know, having a baby one day. I got a response that said places that don't offer maternity leave.
That's crazy.
I said that's weird. That sounds like a
That's
lawsuit.
crazy. That sounds, yeah, that sounds, yeah.
But
Yeah.
apparently in some of these states around these parts, wow, I'm not surprised,
I'm not surprised.
don't offer maternity leave. Huh?
I'm not surprised at all.
Disgusting. So
That's
disgusting.
crazy.
Mm-mm.
Not offering maternity leave.
And
That's
have
like the whole
another.
point of having it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, how are you not? What is the baby just supposed to fend for itself? Or are you paying for childcare? What's your plan here?
Want me to have it on the fucking floor?
Ugh, freaks.
That's
Scary.
crazy. Wait, no, that's crazy.
Yeah. And this is a person, I'm not going to out her because, again, she has a great job. And from what it seems like she's just killing it. She really enjoys the environment that she's in. And now she's like, well, they don't offer maternity leave. So what else am I supposed to, like, I don't think I can work here.
Is she gonna, is she pregnant right now?
No. And I don't think that's something that she's planning on even soon.
Okay.
But I think it's one of those things like, why am I going to build my roots here if it,
If it's not totally 100% equally fair
yeah. And if
to,
you don't respect,
if you don't respect, yeah. It's morals. It doesn't matter if
right.
she's planning or not. It's morals. You don't want to
Yeah.
work for a place that has clearly zero morals for maternity leave, then
Yeah.
why stay? Why give them your effort and your time and your
Terrible.
energy? Yeah.
Terrible. Yes.
That's
Well, if
crazy.
the person who responded, "Hey, love you," if you're watching right now, let me know when you leave. We should out them.
What's
That's
your wear?
Yeah. Yeah. What's your wear? Let's put them on blast.
Put it in the comments.
Now, and another thing that I had another response that has to do with taking time off, but this has to do with a loss of a loved one. Okay. This is,
Bereavement.
yeah. Now, family member passed suddenly, and they said just to get my shift covered, nothing else. No empathy, no nothing. I understand. I think like there are a few situations. I got into a car accident when I was working at the wear that Jamie and I worked at together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just taking, I had a lot of testing and stuff that had to be done. So there was a lot of time that I needed off. I don't think they were that tricky about it. They were very accommodating for me. I'm not going to lie.
I think they liked you and they felt bad because no one planned for you to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were like, damn. And I got into the car accident. I passed out while I was driving. I was all messed up. I had a black eye. I came into work like 2 days later with the black eye and like stitches and everything. And they were like, hey, what you
Yeah. Grace had
doing?
walked back into work and we were like,
What happened
do
to you?
you need anything? Can you do anything?
I said,
And
no,
you're
girl,
just,
I just need some good tips. I had to come back
yeah,
with this black eye.
that's true. Guilt
Yeah,
card.
I would get my client from the front and I'd be like, mind the eye. I just got into a car accident.
Normie, get undressed.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, I could still do it,
I
but it
can
might be a
still
little
see.
slower because my back hurts.
My neck just whiplash. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what you got to do sometimes.
They
But
were
yeah,
they were okay. I had to leave work randomly because I had a subpoena. So I was in the law and and once I said I was like, okay, I need here's my letter. I can't be here for the next 2 weeks. They were like, okay, and then they left it, and I was like, okay. I was like, thanks. You didn't say a single thing. Thank
oh my
you. I
god.
respect that. But I've been at some jobs where I've had a sudden Ow, Violet. I've had a sudden death in the family, and the first and only thing they say is, "All right, as long as you get your shifts covered, yeah, sure, you can go to your grandpa's funeral." Like, oh, thanks. Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, dude, if anything, like, so when you said the subpoena thing and you said that they didn't say anything, I thought that they like just tossed it to the side and forgot about it. I do like that they didn't ask any questions and they were like, all right, this is something that's necessary. A death in the
Yeah.
family, dude, a person that you love. Like, this is so, like, I feel it in my chest, you
Mm-hmm.
know? If
Mm-hmm.
I had an employee that had a sudden death in the family, it's like, all right, I'll get it covered. Don't worry about it. Like, I'll figure it out. We'll make it work. How
Mm-hmm.
about I have faith and your employer should have had faith and known that you are excellent at what you do and you have clients that love you. Okay, this happens. I'm your employer. I'm going to go reach out to your clients. Hey, Jamie had a death in the family. We're going to have to move you either to someone else or you can reschedule you for another day. You know, what would work
Mm-hmm.
best. Your client is going to be like, oh my God. Oh, tell her I'm so sorry. Please. Like,
Yeah.
whatever works for you, you know?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Like, how is this? It really is not a difficult thing
Mm-mm.
to get, unless you have one asshole. But like, honestly,
That's just the one asshole. Then just
yeah,
you go in and take it.
yeah, figure that out. Yeah,
We're busy at a funeral. What are you gonna do
yeah,
about that?
yeah. You want me to leave during the lunch break? Not that that happens, but you know what I mean. Like,
It's just so crazy when we think back to stories like this. And then I had a sudden death that happened in the current job that I'm at, and they were Violet, if you chew my microphone wire right now, I'm gonna be
no.
so upset. But at this current job with my random death in the family, they were just like, okay, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And like asked to talk about it and wanted to know about the funeral and everything and just asked like a million questions. Not a single question was, get your shift covered. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. It was more,
Yeah.
oh my God, go take all the time you need. Like, bare minimum, I'll be back in 4 days, but like, bare
Right.
minimum.
Right. And that's like
Crazy.
on a way less extreme level, that should even be the case. Like when I recently had the stomach bug, she's like, we're good. We'll take care of it. If
Right.
I was so sick, I could barely move or look at my phone. If that was at the other place, the where,
Aware.
they'd be
We'd
like,
be
okay,
dead.
just text everyone you can think of, see if they can cover. And when none of them can, try to see if you could come in, okay?
See how you feel. Let me know if you can come in. Or can you come in and hand in your uniform? Thanks. That would
Uh,
be the only two options.
Yeah, I may have a good um Halloween costume for wear because I
Shut
never
up.
did.
Shut up. No way. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, that's awesome.
I could never post it. I feel like that's risky, but
I
oh
feel
my
like that is
god.
so messed up.
Let me tell you
Imagine
though,
you posted that.
the pants, those things make my butt look so good.
Stop, I know. Because I know. That the whole if it was fitted right with that small shirt and the small pants, but like extra small,
Yes.
that made everyone look so good.
Yeah.
Shoulders out, waist snatched,
Mm.
booty big,
Mm.
and you just like it was comfy. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
And again, a lot of people had like really oversized almost said costumes, uniforms, and I'm like, girl, like, go down a size. Your butt's
Cut
gonna
down a
look so good,
size.
you
Yeah,
know? But
I always appreciated that.
that's my spiel for taking time off and
Mm-hmm.
caring about your team.
Mm-hmm.
Bare minimum.
So one red flag that one person said, which I agree, I've experienced this. Employers are constantly hiring. I've never had this in an aesthetics job before, just another job, but oh my God. I've had a job where they just hired and hired and hired. There was one new person I met at least like 3 times in a month, which is month is not really that long. If I'm meeting 3 to 4 new people every single month, new hires are bound to take your hours, bound to take your customers away. What is your issue that you are hiring like 50 million people just right away, right off the bat,
Right.
all at once? Why?
Yeah. And if you're taking clients and they're like, oh, like they're almost pissed to see you because you're a new face, major,
Um,
major red flag. Why is the turnover so big? Why is it, yeah, such a rapid turnover?
mhm,
That is a red flag. Why are people leaving so much? Why are people so upset that they're seeing so many new faces? That's a
mhm,
good point.
mhm. Yeah, when people, yeah, new constantly hiring is not as good as one would think it is. You're trying to grow your team, but you're not working on your team. You're just adding more people to it. But are you giving them that attention that they need? Are you training everybody for this? Are you
Mm.
training everybody? Is someone else? Is a new hire training a new hire? Is a
Yeah.
like what actually is happening? And why are you hiring so many people all at once?
Yeah. It's just odd. I got another reply that said I ignored the fact that they hire everyone on the spot. Like
Oh,
you're
that's
just so desperate
crazy.
that you're hiring so many people right away. She also said she was gaslit and told she sucked at her job for 4 straight years while her paychecks also never added up. Very similar to my wear experience in Bluffton. I actually told her about that.
That's a really good in for our next, which is making sure you really understand how you're getting paid.
Yes. Cuz dude, they will nod you to death. You know,
Hmm.
if an employer you're in an interview and they just keep nodding, they're trying that'll make you start to nod and you're just gonna be like,
Yeah,
okay, okay. They're just trying
and
to
you
get
trust
you
them.
to smile and nod and trust them. That is their goal there. So make sure you
Mm-hmm.
really understand your pay structure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, ask every question. It's better to ask a million questions than to be left wondering, and then you're in the car on the way back and you're asking yourself all these questions, but then you're like, not knowing the answers. You can always call and ask. You can always be there and ask. You can always sit down with them on the first day of your job or first whatever. You can always sit and ask, because if you have a good boss, they will answer and they will be honest. And if you have an even better boss, then they'll tell you everything you need to know right away.
Yes, and that's so true. Good point, because if they are like almost annoyed that you're asking and trying to understand, red flag.
Red flag.
Like,
Red flag.
that's
No.
a huge red flag. Like, you should never feel that about wanting to understand, especially if you're new into adulthood and like having a job that isn't like some crappy like
Crappy
job.
job. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crappy
yeah.
job. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um like, you're trying to understand how these things work, what commission is and how that works, you know?
Mm.
I remember at my wear, all the professionals were huddling in each other's suites, studying. We were all like, yeah, look at my pay stub. Look at my pay. Like, we were all huddling, studying our pay stubs, being like, this is not, something isn't right here. We're not getting paid for this or that. Or I hit this quota, but I didn't get recognition for it. So why is it not, there were times when I was working as a receptionist, not getting commission for packages that I was selling. And I would point it out and she'd be like, well, it's that way because of this. And I'd be like, then why was that not
Mentioned at first or said that or brought up, or why would
right?
you think one way? That's clearly wrong, but like it's not, it shouldn't be wrong.
Yeah.
It should be right. That should be yeah.
She was gaslighting the hell out of all of us. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Big red flag.
Yeah.
Big red flag.
Huge red flag.
Yeah. Yeah. One red flag response talking piggybacking on everyone huddling and looking at their pay stubs
Oops, sorry.
was if a boss tells you and really, really firmly tells you to absolutely never discuss salary slash wage with other coworkers. I understand both sides. I don't think you should go around parading it, but I think that if something feels wrong to you and you're in an environment where your team should be making the same as you, or if you're a new hire and you're with coworkers that have been there for a while and they're getting paid correctly, maybe they got promoted or something, maybe they get paid even a little bit differently but still like fundamentally the same, that should be able to be an open discussion at least, just to make sure that everyone is on the same page. So I understand
Yes.
both sides. I understand not to really go too deep about it, but understand that you gotta make sure it's right.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. You don't want it, because I know in order to make a certain hourly wage, I had to sell a certain amount. So it's one thing, like if you're hitting your sales goals and you're like, oh, look at me, I'm so awesome, I'm so great, I have all these, instead of like you said, parading it around, that could be a little bit inappropriate all the time. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
like, wait a second, I hit the quota, I didn't make the hour that I'm supposed to make. Do you notice that on your pay? You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
not forcing people to talk about their situations. It
Yeah.
should be a comfortable thing for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Or if you, and I've been on a team where it was like obvious that some people were getting paid a little bit more than other people. And I have to sneeze.
Yeah. And bless you.
Thank you. Anyway.
On to the next.
But like I've been on a team where I have been one of the people that have been paid a little bit more than other people before, and I always thought that was wrong because why? Why? We're all doing the same amount of work.
Right.
We're all on the same we're all on the same team.
Yeah. I really don't understand. It's just disrespectful. And
Mhm.
it's important to recognize your team and what they're doing and how hard they're working.
Mhm. I when I started offering Manzillions at this place, I'm the only one that's offering it, and my boss in front of my other coworker was like, Jamie, since you're the only one performing this service, we are going to raise your commission to this amount for this ticket. So like just to let you know. And I thought that was awesome because she was just like they're all just open to saying, okay, this is your new payment adjustment, just right in front of the other employee. And the other employee is like, yeah, it's like,
Like, let's
yes, do that.
go.
And I was like, oh my God, this is so not toxic. I was like, this is
Yeah.
crazy. Well,
You're
you're just like happy for me. That's weird.
wow, we're raising each other up. That's wild.
Wow, we're hyping each other up. That's never seen that before.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah. New experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So make sure you understand your pay. Make sure the merging the toxic culture in the pay conversation, make sure that people aren't being weird about the pay. People aren't
Suspicious.
pissed off. If everybody's constantly pissed off about the pay structure, something's off. If
Mm-hmm.
everyone's sketched out about the pay structure, something's off.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody replied with a workplace story that we're about to go into some questions that you should ask during your interview, but somebody said they wouldn't let us keep tampons in the bathroom because it might make the boys uncomfortable.
Fuck yourself. Sorry.
Dude. No, yeah.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
fuck yourself.
Like actually, and I even said, I was like, well, obviously the boys shouldn't know about female anatomy. Like, silly us for being women. That's our fault.
Sorry, my bad. Are the boys you're hiring 7?
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
do you,
Like,
like, no. Sorry, but no. Nope.
yeah.
I'm actually gonna have them hanging up on the door, just so when
Yeah.
you shut it, it's all you see. It's just piles and piles of tampons and pads. You're
Yes.
uncomfortable? Then use another bathroom. That's not my
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Yep. Go outside like the freaking animal you are.
Yeah, you're a guy. Can't you pee anywhere?
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear that at all. Uncomfortable for having tampons in the bathroom. I'm gonna take the bloodiest tampon I can find and just place it on top of the garbage.
Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. Now you know what happens to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Red
now you
flag.
can be uncomfortable. You're not allowed to be uncomfortable with tampons in the bathroom. I'm listening and I'm completely judging.
Yeah. If your boss is misogynistic and uneducated about female anatomy and following that sort of
Rule.
what, yeah, get out. Get
Mm-hmm.
out.
Implementing that rule. No, that's so not acceptable.
Get out.
No, get out. Also, you're sharing one bathroom. That's weird.
Yeah.
You should be able to have tampons right out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
Sorry.
gonna use it.
Right.
It's not for them.
And what are they going to do? Have a panic attack because they saw a wrapped up, unopened, unused tampon?
Oh my God, a box of tampons. What am I gonna
Like,
do?
yeah, put me in an
Live?
asylum. Yeah, like go
Like,
on.
just pee and get out? The fuck? What do you mean? What are you gonna do? I'm uncomfortable. There are tampons in the bathroom. Okay, grow up. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, that pissed me off so much.
Well, yeah, I mean, so that's why I was like, it doesn't really have to do with. I mean, it is an employer red flag for sure, but
For
I didn't have a
sure.
good spot to like fit that in. But I had to tell that story.
Did you get any other stories? I don't think I got any stories.
I got like a story. This is something that I feel like a lot of people could relate to this specific thing because I feel like I hear stuff like this a lot
Mm-hmm.
where this person was hosting at a restaurant alone and was fine coming in but started fading really fast, started feeling really sick, like really like fever, bad sick,
Hmm.
okay? At a restaurant. The manager disappears for 3 hours. Nobody could reach the manager. He shows up an hour before the 5-hour shift ends and is like, "Oh yeah, you can leave." And then she drives home, an hour home, checks her temp, definitely has a full fever, is falling apart. And it's just like, if you are a manager, if you are the boss of a team, hey, just be reachable.
Yeah, just be reachable. Because I promise your employees are not calling you to chit chat in the middle of their shift. They're
Yeah.
calling you because they need you.
And again, this manager wasn't off. Like, this manager just disappeared. Right? My hairdresser said that she was gonna text me and then she was gonna send me a voice memo. And Adri, you missed the mark. All right, we're gonna have a part 2 now,
We're gonna
maybe
have to
with you
part
on
two.
it.
Gosh. Gosh. Or you could just come on the pod and tell us yourself,
Yeah.
which is like
All
also a
right.
good thing.
Get on here.
I have a kind of story, kind of not really. My friend said, does being called racist for holding an unpaid bag of clothes behind the counter cart account? So if she has a bag of clothes and she's holding it, she's a cashier, and the person didn't pay for the bag of clothes, should the worker be called racist for clothes that the customer didn't pay for that she's holding because the customer didn't pay for it? Right.
I think
Just
people are just
pay.
looking for a
I don't
problem.
know. I
Hey,
don't know what to tell
are
you.
you
Just
bored?
pay.
Stick your freaking card in the card reader and get on
Yeah.
with your day.
You didn't
I
have enough
can't.
to get the bag of clothes, then why'd you go shopping? That's all I'm gonna say there.
Yeah, that's a tricky one right there.
Yeah.
We're going to go into some interview questions. During an interview, don't be afraid to ask questions. You're not just trying to get hired, you're also trying to make sure this job is a good fit for you. Okay, not every job is.
Mm.
And am I crazy for thinking that asking questions just shows that you're confident and you know what's expected out of a professional environment?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a green flag for the employers of you, thinking of you.
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I haven't been on an interview in so long.
Yeah. Technically,
But
my interview for this place wasn't even an interview. My last one was Costco around a year ago.
yeah, yeah. My interview was an interview actually, but it wasn't that formal. I sat on a couch and then I waxed Lisa's underarms, and she was like, "All right, you can wax. You're hired." I was like, "All right,
There
sounds
we
good,
go. Boom.
nice." So one of the first questions you should absolutely ask in your interview is how you're getting paid. Obviously, this is not working for free. How is the pay structure? Are you hourly? Are you commission based? Are you mixed? How often are you getting paid? Are you getting paid once a week? Are you getting paid bi-weekly? When? How? Direct deposit, checks? What's in your pay stub? What should you be expecting when you're getting paid? Yeah, everything you ever need to know about getting paid, you need to ask. If you don't have any questions, then they need to be as transparent as humanly possible in your pay
Yeah.
questions.
Yes. And remember, if they're acting annoyed because you're asking these questions, if it feels like you shouldn't be asking these questions, maybe this place isn't for you.
Mm-hmm. Good bosses love to answer questions.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They're
Yeah.
proud of what they've built.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Are there deductions from your pay? Product fees, back bar, etc.? I think
Mm-hmm.
my wear would have been better if they had, instead of just giving us $1 for a Brazilian, they had been transparent about, hey, we're taking this away. No, you're $65 for the Brazilian, let's say, but we have to take this percent away for back bar. And it was like, if it was like a standard number, then it would have been like, okay, this makes more sense instead of, wow, I'm doing this Brazilian and getting paid $2.
Back bar has never been considered in any of my payment. I've never got reduced for any back bar
I
utilities.
But I figure the crap pay that we get per wax from our wear,
Yeah.
not speaking
From
about
the way,
current,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I figure that's what it went to.
That's
Or it's just going into their
crazy.
pockets.
It's just that I'm gonna assume that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna assume that one.
Yeah. It was so stupid.
Yeah. But also in your pay, are you getting commission per service, per product? What is the sales? What should you be doing? Packages, anything like that?
Yes.
That's
So
insane.
true.
Yeah.
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 Now, another thing, are my hours guaranteed? If I'm scheduled from 8 to 5, 8 to 8, whatever it is, am I working from 8 to 8? Or if I don't have bookings in the morning, am I coming in later and not, am I missing that hourly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Always at first, you probably always gonna get paid hourly at first, but you guys better make damn sure that if you're entering a new job and your book is not filled, because obviously not, it takes a really long time to build a solid book, and you're hired there, new, fresh hire, you have to make sure that you're not getting paid by the client because that's no money.
Yeah. No
And
money in your
also,
pocket.
if the client no-shows, if the client cancels, are you still getting paid for that? That is another extremely good thing to know, because if your client is just not showing up and you're not getting paid, that was a whole time in your book that you thought that you were going to get paid and then you don't. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to make sure you're getting compensated for all that missed time too.
Yes. Do they pay a cancellation fee or a deposit? Because then
Mm-hmm.
that will be what you're getting. Which is
Mm-hmm.
why I
Mm-hmm.
just started requiring a deposit for my bigger services. Thank God.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Thank God.
Good. Good. Yeah, good.
I needed that.
Is continuing education encouraged? Does the job offer any new training on new services or techniques or just continuing education in general? Any new certifications? Any new up and coming anything? Do they pay? Do you have to pay? Do they want you to? Do they want you to do that? Are they gonna
Yeah.
add a new service because of you?
Yeah. Well, I'll say I asked that question at both of the wares, and both times they were like, well, like they just didn't really know what to say. And the
Yeah.
first time, because this was my first interview after aesthetic school, I was like, yeah, I asked that question. They were so impressed. Meanwhile, they were probably like, oh shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
mentioned the event that happens once a year for just management, but they didn't make it clear that it was just for management. They made it sound like it was one of those like beauty fairs.
Uh,
Don't BS me. Just say
BS.
no.
Just just be honest.
Yeah. Now, another question. How would you describe the team dynamic? How are conflicts handled if they do come up? Are there a
Hmm.
lot of conflicts? This is something that when you ask it, just say you gotta make it because I was thinking about it when I was writing this. Where I wonder if this would make them assume that you get into a lot of conflicts. But it's
Mm,
just like, is this a toxic environment?
yeah,
You know, be straight
yeah,
up with me, dude.
yeah. Another important question to ask is what is the policy for taking off? How many days can you take off in a row? When do you need to let them know? Because some places, like the old wear, was like, if you're gonna take off, you have to let us know 6 weeks in advance. And it's like, well, what if I don't know 6 weeks in advance?
What if
What
I
if
get into
I,
a car accident?
what?
Like, should I let you know 6 weeks in advance when I'm
Yeah.
planning for that to happen?
Like, hey, I have my car accident scheduled in 7 weeks from now. Um, just to let you know. Thanks.
Get on that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Block it out in my book. Thank you.
I can't.
I know. I know.
But ask these
Mm.
questions, and if their reaction is weird, bye.
I have so many people that I know that are constantly interviewing right now. Just not even in aesthetics alone, just in general. Interviewing sucks.
Yeah, the
Interviewing is
worst.
terrible, actually. It's like really annoying.
It's so anxiety provoking. Like, you know who
Yeah.
you are, all right? You
Yeah.
know your skills. Be
Yeah.
confident.
Yeah. And they'll hire you. They'll understand. They'll get the energy and they'll be like,
Yes.
I want this.
Yes, girl.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get into some rapid fire red flags. Boss talks shit about employees. Whether they named them or not, we don't want a gossipy environment, especially one that stems from the employer, because you know if they're gossiping, it's trickling down.
Mm-hmm. There's tension in the air. I just kind of feel this is more you walk in and if no one's speaking to each other, nobody is. It just you just feel it. You can cut it with a knife. No one's asking you how you are, how your weekend was. No one fucking cares. I feel like that's part of tension. You can feel that there's fighting somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the crazy receptionist at my wear, she just didn't even look at me, handed me the folder to fill out with all the paperwork for the new hire stuff. Just,
Okay, like
yeah,
what's your problem?
yeah, she had a lot of problems. Anyways, like we just said, your employer feels threatened rather than excited when you ask about educational opportunities or the pay structure, anything like that. They get a little
Mm-hmm.
standoffish. Red flag.
Mm-hmm. Competition culture rather than quality culture. I'm not a big competitive person. If my bosses are making my work environment competitive, making me feel like I'm not doing enough, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I don't play with all that. Not how I rock.
Yeah. Not my cup of tea. Anyways, your boss seems to prioritize filling the books over everything else, sanitation, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. This is a big personal one of mine. Your work is not credited to you, but instead someone else takes the credit. No, I'm a big hater on that. If someone's doing something, I'm parading them. I'm saying, yeah, this was all them. They did it. That yes, not me. Why would I take someone else? Why would I take the credit for someone else's work? That's not happening.
Please, that's disgusting. People
Yeah,
are so slimy.
I know. Man, I'm so happy where we are right now.
Yeah, so happy. This is gorgeous. Thank
This
God.
is lovely. Yeah.
Recognition, taking control, good work environment. Boom.
Boom.
All
Wow.
right.
What a rant-filled episode.
Yeah. We needed to let it out.
We needed to. We've been on too good of terms with our with our work. We needed to
Yeah.
reminisce on the bad ones.
Yeah, for sure. It's not like
Yeah.
I said, now we can look back and laugh.
Now we can look back and laugh.
We hope you can help you avoid those red flags.
Maybe we gave you interview questions. Maybe you're a new graduate and you're going into your first aesthetics job. Don't go to our wear. Don't do it.
Don't go there. Don't
Don't
go
do
there.
it. Yeah, no, don't do it. Glad we went. Don't do it though.
Yeah. Unless they have a really, really good reputation. Like this just happens to be the best wear that there is.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, turn on your notification bells for our social media if you have not already, so you never miss the questions that we put in our Instagram stories. A lot of what we got today in this episode was actually from you guys, so thank you. Round of
Thank you
applause
so
for
much.
participating. Thanks. Ugh, if anything that we mentioned today was a trigger for you, you're not alone, obviously, because like the public just totally shared everything. But if you guys think of another red flag that we've not mentioned in this episode, please comment your story down below. Please comment red flag stories, things that have happened, bad bosses you've had, bad experiences at work. This is a safe spot. So
Yeah.
spill everything.
Yeah. We want to hear it all.
And then, of course, everyone, don't forget to rate us 5 stars. Give us a big like, subscribe, check out another video on the screen. If you don't know where our where is, then go in another episode and figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Check that one out. You'll see.
And of course, go on Etsy and shop for Glow Crazy merch because, like, why not? Also, like, get a tote bag because it's summer and you need a bag for the beach. I heard someone
Yes,
said that.
girl.
Someone was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, I need a beach bag." Well,
You
don't
need
worry,
it
we got
bad.
you one. You need a bag.
Yeah.
You need a bag. And when it's gets cold at the beach, you need a crew neck. So I don't make the rules. Sorry.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so oh my gosh, Glow Crazy listeners. Do something that makes you happy today. Drink your water. Wear your SPF that I'm not wearing because I ran out.
Oh no.
And I've been saying wear your SPF in every episode. Have not worn it in a little bit. And glow crazy.
Go crazy. Woo!